Okay, we are going to just dive right in here. This will be a collective message, all signs. We're again leading up to an eclipse, and it is really taking its toll on some folks in regards to life being life, in regards to the shadow work, in regards to like political and socioeconomic stuff. And I mean, just it's hitting everyone hard. And I know a lot of us are in a season where we're ready for that reprieve, right? So let's see what they have for us. And we will go from there. As always, when I use this deck, I do actually read the book. It's the Gateway to Light Activation book, okay? Ooh, okay. Halls of Learning, Spiritual Guides, Confirmation, and Great Lessons. Sacred Inner Space, Sacral Chakra, Tenderness, Sensuality. And then Memories of Atlantis, spiritual acceleration, progress, and technology. None of these surprise me. None. Halls of Learning, 79. Oh, perfect. All right, the Halls of Learning, Spiritual Guides, Confirmation, and Great Lessons. The message that comes along with this card. You are on the path to great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to support you. If you are facing challenging or difficult circumstances or have just moved through such a time, you are being called to review what you have learned about yourself. If you're still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event or asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern, trauma, or wound that has contributed to this challenge. If you aren't experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you've made huge progress on your spiritual journey. So much so that your perspective has shifted so that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. The Halls of Learning Gateway indicates that your spiritual gifts are developing at this time. Shadow work. Dog is confirming for you. It is just so prevalent in this energy that it's unbelievable. Memories of Atlantis, spiritual acceleration, progress, and technology. Your message. You are being transported through a gateway to connect with the ancient Atlantis. Know that by drawing this card today, you are receiving blessings from the Atlantean Council of Light, who are dedicated to the evolution of the soul. You are becoming aware of your gifts, and this is an exciting time, but also a time when the energies of your ego can become loud and obnoxious. Know that this gateway is appearing to remind you to stay aligned with the highest good and rooted in the energies of devotion. Then there can be a great coming together of the human and spiritual, and you can live in a more evolved way. Spiritual awakenings, not surprising. And then Sacred Inner Space, 121. Sacred Inner Space, the message. You are being guided to the gateway of your sacred self. This is an opportunity to recognize that the more tender and vulnerable aspects of your being hold keys to great power. Honor the sacred within. Reclaim any parts of yourself that you have disconnected from or abandoned. If you want to experience more love and belonging, look within. There's a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. Realize that false narratives have been floating around your energetic field, stories that have discouraged you from expressing yourself. You may even have been lied to and told you aren't beautiful. This card is here to remind you that you are beautiful, and more importantly, you can create beauty in the world. Recognize that you hold the power of the universe within, and then you'll find your flow. definite, this is important too, Heart of Source. Sorry, we're going to do one more. Heart of Source. There is the definite energy of, I can't do two things at once. Hold on. There's a definite energy of not only spiritual up levels, spiritual awakenings, but getting in alignment with your higher self, your divine self. And that's how you show yourself more love. That's how you show up lovingly for yourself. The most common thing I'm sought out for, when will love find me? I have done work, I've done inner work, probably not enough, doesn't matter. And I'm ready. When does it arrive? And the answer is when you love yourself enough that you can be without it. Heart of Source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, serenity. You are connecting directly with the Heart of Source, the creator of life and love. You are blessed to receive this card, for it shows the cup of your heart is being filled with love until it overflows. The divine energy that is with you now is helping you melt away any blockages so that you can be open to love, acceptance, and appreciation that you deserve. You're being encouraged to view yourself in a loving way and give yourself permission to be loved. If you have been holding back for a while but are now ready to share the love you have within, this card lets you know it's safe to do so. You are loving and lovable. Step forward, claim your worth, and enjoy a new level of spiritual openness. You are truly blessed. It is a season of love, and oftentimes those seasons show up after you have done the deep dive, right? After you have gotten into it with the shadow work and after you have gotten into it with everything else, you start to recognize the places and spaces that you weren't loving to yourself, which is why it comes forward. So knowing that those are the themes of this message here, let's see where else we go. Really? I thought there was another. Okay. And as always, the messages line up. Your higher self is calling for you to recognize what needs to be cleaned up, not only like in your physical house, your physical reality, your car, your house, but also inside of yourself, okay? When the clean it up card comes out, that means, hey, you need to be paying attention to where you feel bogged down, where you feel disconnected from life, so that way you can plug back in and be connected. Oftentimes, if your kitchen, mine's right there, if your kitchen is cluttered, if it's messy, if the counters, you can't even see the counter, okay? If that is happening internally, you most likely will be feeling very cluttered, very confused, very unsure about why things feel so stifled. The kitchen is the center, it's the heart of the home. Your internal self is also struggling to be seen, to be heard amidst all the clutter. So if you want to declutter inside of yourself, start by decluttering your physical reality, because also as you're diving into the decluttering and the deep cleaning, because that needs to be done too, as you're diving into that, your brain can go on autopilot, which allows you to kind of settle the score inside of your head with any of the things that are popping up right now for you to work through, any of the shadow work. And as you come out of that season of cleaning up, of getting yourself into more alignment, it will be time for you to rest. After you go through a healing, you have to integrate. In order to integrate, you have to rest. So many of you want to do so many things out and about in the world that you don't take the time to actually sit your ass down and rest. That is crucial for change to show up, okay? When the change isn't showing up, we have unfinished business. And when we have unfinished business, Spirit's like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some pep in it. No, they're like, hey, you can't move forward until you wrap this cycle up from the past. You absolutely have to culminate these cycles before we can get in here and allow more change to occur. Because if we're just sitting here dealing with all the past bullshit while trying to call in this new energy, it doesn't match, okay? There's a misalignment here, and it's about finding that alignment. It's about coming to the center of yourself and finding that you are the source of the alignment, or You're the source of being out of alignment, okay? It's about loving yourself through it. It's about recognizing that, yes, there will be both personal love as well as relationship love coming in for you. That's part of this winds of change. You need to right now be focusing in on your manifestation. You need to right now be focusing in on what your soul needs from you and doing those things now and acting accordingly. So that way when this other love shows up, you're in a place to actually receive. And now is a great time for you to fall into new friendships, for you to enjoy the camaraderie of the friends that you do have. So that way you are really set up and looking good to be in a connection. Knowing how you operate in connections, whether they're friends, within yourself, within your family, within, a romantic connection, all of that is important to know. Do you know what your triggers are? These cards are basically saying clean up your house, clean up your internal reality as well as your external reality. Get yourself right. Love yourself unconditionally. Get out in the real world. Show your friends the love, the divine love that you have. And then watch a romantic partner show up. That's that energy, right? And I feel like that's the part that some of y'all are missing here. Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Let's see where else they take us. Yeah, so there is definite healing work to be done here in regards to love. Like, you're so busy focusing in on the fact that, it just doesn't feel very loving, right? Every time you turn around, you feel as though you are not connected to a loving source. You are the sole source of the love, and that makes you feel absolutely crappy. When you go from the 4 of Cups to the 5 of Cups, it's like, okay, I want to throw a fit. I'm not getting what I want. All I can see is these 3 cups here. I don't see that there's another option. And then the 5 of Cups says, I'm still looking at these same 3 fucking cups, but they are not filling my cup up. And Spirit's like, turn around. Could you please turn around and see the goodness that is coming for you? It's not even coming for, it's here. Like, the goodness is here. You have yet to release the self-judgment. You have yet to release the doubt and truly end these cycles. So that way the healing can happen. The healing can finish up, and then you can enter into a season of joy, a season of true abundance, a season of success, a season of growth. That 8 of Pentacles with the 6 of Wands says, hey, there is, in terms of career, in terms of resources, in terms of money, there is an up level coming in for you. There is success to be had because you have been putting in the work to build, and you are to the point now where you can actually collect the fruits of your labor, right? You keep putting in the hard work, you keep getting the harvest. That's the whole deal. 3, 8, 9. You keep setting the foundation, you keep doing the work. Then you are consistent with your work, and then you have a harvest. And those action steps always lead to success. And part of how you get to your success is you enjoy the journey. The journey is the entire thing. Spirit wants you to get good with enjoying the journey, using your intuition to make the journey easier, knowing that your wish fulfillments are coming in for you at any given time, especially in regards to love, is important, okay? You can set down the overbearing thoughts. You can set down the thoughts that keep you up at night, the circular thoughts. You're not getting off the hamster wheel. You're continuing to be on it. You can release yourself from that. How you're going to do it is you're going to nurture the shit out of yourself. You're going to nurture, you're going to love yourself. You're going to treat yourself like you're sick. You're going to treat yourself like your kid when they're sick. If you don't have kids, like a friend or like a loved one who is sick. When you nurture yourself that way, that really allows you, number 1, to take the time to rest. Number 2, to then show up for yourself in a very loving and compassionate way. If you struggle to open your emotions and be available to yourself, start looking at yourself as a child, your inner child. And see how it feels to love on your inner child, to honor their needs, their thoughts, their emotions right now, to show up for them if they don't feel well. What would you do for them? Would you draw them a hot bath? Would you make them a little bit of soup, or would you order soup? Whatever that looks like for you. But is that what you would do? Then do that for yourself. It's about showing yourself that tender, loving care that you've needed your whole life, knowing that the more you support yourself that way, the more likely you're calling in a divine partner who's going to do the same. feel like there's a final message out here. A lot of you are really stuck in your head. You're like, no, I have to take action. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to make plans for my life. And I can't just sit here idle and just, hope everything sorts itself out. And Spirit wants you to know, sitting there idle is not really how you get. Okay. Yeah. So sitting idle is not really how you get your wish fulfillment, okay? Sitting idle is how you get stuck. Sitting idle is how you start feeling like you don't have enough, or like what you bring to anyone's table is not enough, and it makes you feel like, damn, but I've put in all this work and now what do I have? It feels like nothing. So it's about ending this cycle of feeling like you have nothing or what you have is not good enough. And it's about really, again, falling back into nurturing yourself. For a lot of you, instead of falling back into nurturing yourself, you fall back into self-sabotage. You fall back into self-sabotage, and then that keeps you in a space of, well, I just tell it like it is. I just have to call it like it is. It's reality, right? And it's like, no. And notice these are masculine cards, so you're definitely trying to take charge. You're trying to take control of the situation. It's like, no, if you were to open up emotionally and allow your emotions to guide you, then it would be a different experience. Instead of just claiming that you know what your emotions are, or claiming that you know what this is or is not, your emotions are your intuition. Allow your intuition to guide you through getting your wish fulfillments, through getting your prayers answered, because there is definitely new energy coming in for you. You just don't seem to see it. But then there's also the piece of you not thinking that you're worthy of it. And that's the core problem here, right? That's the mental tower moment that's coming in for you, is that you need to recognize that you are worthy. Just by living, breathing, and being a human being, you are worthy of your wishes fulfilled, okay? You have to be willing to set that programming down and pick up a new train of thought. Spirit wants to work with you to do that. They don't want to see you sitting here down and out. They don't. Spirit wants to see you sitting here in the absolute abundant energy of who you are and what you desire. That 10 of Pentacles says, like, this is, I am financially stable. I am in a stable connection. There is family commitment here. There is the energy of I am loved and safe to be loved. And as you sink into that energy, the Wheel of Fortune shows up for you, letting you know there's going to be new experiences. There's going to be wonderful experiences coming in for you, but you have to be open and available to them. The success is here because you have new opportunities arising. The success is here. You have to be able to find the joy now and sink into it. Okay? You have to be able to find the joy now. Take charge of that. If there was something in your life for you to take charge of, it would be your joy. It would be your desire to show up differently. And then as you move in that different energy, the spirit world is like, bet. She's ready to put down the baggage. She's ready to stop doing the same cycle over and over again. We can now bring in her manifestations. We can show her all the places and spaces where her manifestations have just been sitting and waiting for her, and now they can actually be in her reality. You've taken the time to build your foundation, and part of your foundation is love. You know, we had the Emperor out here with that 4 of Wands, and now I have the 2 of Cups, which is your soulmate energy. If you are looking for love, I would dare say love is also looking for you. You have to be open to receive. You have to know that you're worthy of it. You have to know that you have put a solid foundation out there, and that you plus that person plus spirit makes the perfect team. It makes the perfect trio. You have to allow yourself to receive it. King of Pentacles. This would be a divine partner because the Queen of Pentacles is also out here again. You have it coming in for you. To get there, it's all about you leading the way and you diving into the energy of your self-concept and what can you adjust to actually show up and live the life you want to live. You're going to be abundant. If you have worries about your finances, you can set those aside. You've done the work. You continue to do the work. This is not a one-size-fits-all type of life. You're living in a different timeline than most people in your reality. Know that. Know that yours might look a little different, but your abundance is coming. Your love is coming. Your change of your life path is coming. You simply have to be ready to step off the current road and onto the new path when it arrives. The fork in the road is not there to confuse you. Pick the different path. Okay. Love you. Bye.